Indiana's news leader. Eyewitness News at noon starts now.
I personally extend that apology to anyone that received that same message. We're here to make it right. We're here to assure those who feel that the RFRA statute will discriminate against them that it will not be used for that purpose.
An apology today from Indiana Speaker of the House Brian Bosma, but he says not for actions taken, but for messages received. This comes as part of an announcement of major changes coming to the state's controversial Religious Freedom Restoration Act. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Matt McCutcheon in today for Scott Swan. We have live team coverage of the revisions and the many business leaders involved in bringing these changes that has the nation talking today. Our coverage begins this noon with political reporter Kevin Rader. Kevin.
Matt, as we first reported this morning, this bill or amendment actually prohibits the Religious Freedom Restoration Act for being reused or for being used to refuse service or discriminate. The House chamber was packed this morning. It's clearly a day where not everyone gets what they want, but everyone is doing what they can to move forward.
Yeah, Kevin, I've already said it. It was misinterpreted, but all we can say is we are sorry that that misinterpretation hurt so many people.
The healing needs to begin right now. For the first time ever, the words sexual orientation and gender identity appear in Indiana statute, or they will after this law is passed, in the context of non-discrimination. But it will take time and it will take more work.
And again, the goal here is to get clarification on the RFRA bill on the governor's desk for him to sign later today, and it appears lawmakers are well on their way to accomplishing that. Conference committee is still going on at this hour in the Senate chamber as we speak. But this proposal, which is still being debated in that conference committee, does not include making the LGBT community a protected class, but it did lay the foundation for a debate that could possibly take place here in the Indiana State Legislature in the future. We'll have more on that coming up on Eyewitness News at 12:30. At the State House, Kevin,
of course, a number of people have been involved in changing the wording of this law. We've noticed so many protests going on. The big question, why not just repeal it and scrap this altogether?
Well, I think there's a feeling that they wanted to get this law on the books, and I think obviously it's already been signed into law. I would have to maybe talk to lawmakers about that specifically, but I think at this point in time, lawmakers just want to move forward with the bill that they have on the books. They say they're just correcting a perception. There might be those in Indiana who feel that the way they do, that the law doesn't need to be corrected, but there are others who might feel as though now that Speaker Bosma said several times today, we're not correcting the bill, we're correcting a perception. So I think maybe there's a feeling that they don't have to repeal the bill. But obviously, those in the gay and lesbian community feel very differently. But we'll hear from them, Matt, coming up at 12:30.
Much more to come, Kevin. Thank you. Let's bring